Madam Chair, allow me to congratulate the minister. He's one of the ministers who takes our calls and who calls us. Thank you, Minister. Minister, before I ask you my question, allow me to invite you to the provisions of Article 35 of the Constitution, specifically Article 1A, which gives every Kenyan the right of access to information in the custody of the government. Can you please balance this with our age-old tradition in Parliament, where you are free to ask the Speaker to allow you to table that information in camera? I want to invite you. Having done so, allow me to ask you my question. Haiti is 12,119 kilometers away. It takes 13 hours of flying to reach Haiti, and the cheapest flight, Minister, is 220,700 shillings. You have justified our presence in regional missions by attributing it for the need for us to be part of securing peace, security, and stability of our regions. Given the statistics I've given you on how far away Haiti is, could you tell us what are the benefits and what are the intended consequences the government hopes to achieve by taking our troops to Haiti?
Cabinet Secretary.
Madam Speaker, the last question, I think, with a lot of respect to my colleague, when I came to Parliament, I found him in this same chamber. There used to be a library next door. I don't know whether it's still there. Many, many years. I want to refer him the last question to the Minister of Interior. So please take time, invite Professor Kindiki, give him the statistics of the distance and how many flights go there and the hours. That is above it's not my domain, so I'll refer that to Professor Kindiki. And I'm sure the House has the powers using the standing orders to invite him, even this afternoon. Yes, the first one was, yes, Article 35 of the Constitution allows you to get and provide information, any information, to any citizens. But that article must be interpreted with certain responsibility. And I'm sure if you read the chapter on the organs of the National Security Council and even KDF, and you being a very, very seasoned medical doctor, I am sure even sometimes you don't provide your client, your patient data to all and sundry. This is a plenary. And there are certain information which is, the custodian is the National Security Council. Honorable Boni, Senator Boni Khalawale, I cannot share. But if you want me to share, the venue will not even be Parliament. The venue will be the defense headquarters, because even the room where we want to share, we must take charge of that room. So I will invite you, using the standing orders, to come to defense headquarters. You'll be ushered in, and the generals will share with you some of the privileged data. I am sure from where you sit as a majority whip and as a seasoned leader in this country, you also want to protect our country and you want to protect the national security of our country. Thank you.
And I think, Honorable Madam Speaker, any officer who dies in the line of duty is one too many. And we have to, as a country, appreciate that the work they do is the ultimate sacrifice. If an officer dies in the line of duty, that is the ultimate sacrifice that they can give in fighting for this country. and they are our unsung heroes. And the ones that we have lost, may God rest their soul in peace. Madam Speaker, the Kenyan Army has been in Somalia for 5 years, and as the Cabinet Secretary has explained, that as they are at their second phase of withdrawing from Somalia, the federal government of Somalia has actually requested that they extend their time. So my question is to the Cabinet Secretary, in the period of the 5 years that the Kenyan Defense Forces has been in Somalia, have they undertaken any social development programs, programs within the military-civil engagement that has helped them to win the minds and hearts of the community in Somalia in the areas that they are serving? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable CS.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also want to confirm that I have one of the best senators. He is my senator, and myself and the people of Garissa have full confidence in Senator, who he replaced our father and our elder, who also sat in this house. May Allah take him to Jannah. Madam Speaker, yes, Senator Abdullah has asked a very fundamental question. We do it both in our country and we do it outside. If you go to our area and thank Parliament, Parliament always allocates a certain resource to Kenya Defense Forces for their civic duty. So we are involved in construction of dams, building of boreholes, providing medical camps, and wherever our bases are, during drought, they give a lot of water. Senator will agree with me, particularly in the parts in Garissa where there was drought and where our bases are, the same in other parts of the Asal region. So, and then we have an element we call key leadership engagement. The Senator and Deputy Majority Leader in the Senate, Senator for Samburu, will agree with me. Even where we go and bring peace and security, we still have key leadership engagement. In Somalia, Madam Speaker, one of our operating base in a place called Duale, and you can look at either ATMIS Twitter handle or KDF, you will find in our biggest hospital, we provide maternal health care, we provide surgery, and even this week, if you go look at that Twitter, you'll find a lady who was now being discharged on a wheelchair, who was in our hospital for about 3 months in Duale. So that is a kind of thing we do. We provide water, we provide health facilities. And I remember, Madam Speaker, I visited one of our forward operating bases in Wajir with members of Parliament in our sensitization campaign to the community to help us in the war against Al-Shabaab and against terror. And the elders told us, and the base commander told us, to be more specific, that, you know, all our forces there are adult, and mainly they are men. So they said when the communities come to them with the pediatric cases of children who are sick or mothers who are pregnant, they don't have the drug. So we made a deliberate decision, policy now at Kenya Defense Forces, that wherever we have our doctors and our nurses in the most remote parts of the country and inside Somalia, we must make sure we provide all types of drugs, so that if we get a lactating mother, a pregnant lady, a lady who has complications in delivery, the drugs are available. So that is our duty. And everywhere we do, we don't only use kinetic force. We want to blend it with development, socio-economic development programs, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, CS. Senator Danson Mungatana.
Madam Speaker, every time I attend a funeral of one member of the Defense Forces in Tana River, there are very elaborate ceremonies that follow, and we thank the Ministry of Defense for what they do, because it is a reflection of the discipline and the arrangements that are there. The question I have for the minister is, can he disclose the amount that they give to each member of the family? At least that one is not a matter of national importance or secret. He should tell us, apart from the flag, the salutes, the nice songs they sing, and all the ceremonies, what does the widow get? At least a figure. What does the widow get on that particular date? I know, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, that the armed forces regulations on gratuities, they have calculations they make for personnel and officers. So when they give the death gratuities after calculation, so that may be something they do maybe over a period of time, which the minister should tell us. But when they come to bury, what do they give? That's the thing that we want to know. Because it's very sad, but we are always mesmerized by the ceremonies. And actually, at least in Tana River, so many of us go to see what is happening there because of what they do. But do they give? And we want to know from the minister the figure so that Kenyans can know when your son or your husband or your daughter has gone on the date of the burial, something, and this is the amount that is given apart from the death gratuity. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable CS.
Madam Speaker, this is not nothing to hide, so I'll just say what we give immediately within 30 days, for shorter than 30 days. If the officer is serving within our country, immediately he gets 4 million shillings. Above his pension, which has a component called death gratuity. But if he's serving in ATMIS, like in Somalia, apart from the 4 million, the AU and the UN give that family 50,000 USD. And Honorable Senator, if there is anybody who you feel from Tana River County who did not receive this, I am ready and willing to engage you at the Defense Headquarters. But there is a problem. The problem is where families don't agree. And Madam Speaker, on a light touch, even in my life in Parliament here, there are colleagues of mine and Honorable Boni Khalwale and Honorable Mugatana, we served with them in the 10th Parliament, who died, and up to today, they cannot get their gratuity because of family disputes and courts, and people went. So just like here, even in defense, we get a few cases where because of the family dispute, the money becomes not accessible. But 4 million is within the first 3 weeks. If he's serving under ATMIS, Honorable Boni Khalwale, Madam Speaker, I want to urge you on a light note that by the time you go to heaven, don't leave us with a lot of problems. Make some good disclosure. We can work on, Madam Speaker. But we pay 4 million for within our country. But if outside our country, like ATMIS in Somalia, we pay 4 million, plus the AU and the UN pays 50,000 US dollars. And I agree with you. We give decent, respectable burials, particularly for KDF officers.
Thank you, Honorable CS. On the issue of family disputes,